Today we are talking about Sakar Bhakti and Nirakaar Bhakti. Most of the people think Sakar Bhakti and Nirakaar Bhakti are different, but I can tell you they are from the same unit. Sakar Bhakti is basically a nursery class, and Nirakaar Bhakti is your PhD level. So one has to start from Sakar. We direct our children, we feed them, and ask them to pray to the God, go to the temple. It's the initial stage, although they don't understand it, and most of our people also don't understand why we go to the temple. Going to the temple is Sakar Bhakti, but we people are going there to demand something, to fulfill our request. Temple, one must go to thank the Lord, how much He has given us. Temples is basically is the place where we have installed the divine force itself in the form of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Lord Ganesha, whatsoever form you like. They are all divine form, but they have come in the human form so that it's easy for us, easy for initial starters, that they are the gods. They are divine gods. They have got all capability, but we still worship. I think every day goes to in the deep meditation and praise to the one Almighty. So we have to start our journey from Sakar Bhakti is on one side and the final Nirakar other side. And from Nirakar we go to the Savikalpa Samadhi. And moment we reach to Savikalpa Samadhi, then the real spiritual life of Prophet starts. Then we are all together different. We becomes the part of the divine force. So God has chosen us to follow this path. But most of the people, this start from they don't want to change. It's the movement, it is the flow. They do the same rituals every day. They want to live in the same class. Suppose they are in the fifth class, they want to be in the fifth one. Because it is easy. Moment go to the sixth class, then you have to study more. Go to seventh, you have to study more. So people don't make any progress in spiritual life when you have no aim. So we must aim for that. Sakar Bhakti basically teaches us the virtues of life. Man is born as a seed, and seed has to develop. It has to sprout as a plant, then it gives the fruits. So we are born as a seed. So we have to learn a lot. And learning is not possible unless somebody teaches in the beginning. When you acquired all the knowledge, then you go for your own PhD. So Sakar Bhakti is from our Lord, Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, Lord. Say Lord Rama, we worship Rama. He is a Maryada Purushottam. He teaches us how to live in this society, how to, we must have a regard for his father. One must have regard for whatsoever he says, you must follow it. We are not supposed to analyze why he has done such and such thing. So Maryada Purushottam, for the sake of to fulfill what Father Dasha told him, he went to the 14 years to the jungles. So this epic story teaches us that we must have a full regard for our elders. We must not analyze them, diagnose what they have done. So if we were on that stage, probably we would have done the same. We can't experience it. Says Bhakta Tulsi Das. He loved his wife so immensely. When his wife left him, went to his father's house, he could not stay even for a day alone. He jumped in the river, which was flooded with the water. He swam the river, sitting on the dead body, and then climbed to his father-in-law's house, taking snake as a robe. He was full of so much of erotic feelings to meet his wife. So when he went to her, his life completely changed. She told, "You love so much to me. Why don't you love to the God? You must have reached a certain level to could have become divine person." So what I mean to say here, we all have the erotic feeling and we follow that as Tulsi Das has done. So these stories of Ramayana teaches us that we must disregard the erotic thinkings and follow to the divine path. Otherwise, how we can learn these things if we don't follow the Sakar Bhakti? Sakar Bhakti teaches us a lot of things. This Rama has renounced the kingdom. It's a detachment. He is the authority of detachment. Unless we detach from what we have acquired, we cannot follow the divine path. Detachment is possible when the Vairagya develops in us. Rama was born Vairagya. He was the son of the king, but he has no attachment for anything. See his life. So we worship Rama so that we must get the same divine quality which he has. If we bow before someone, what is the purpose? Purpose is what grace he has got in his feet, it must come to our head. Bowing down is not just for the sake of bowing, it is for the sake so that we must become like him. So we must become Lord Rama, and we acquired all such qualities what he has. Rama got married with Sita. His guru Vishwamitra helped him. Then they went for Swayamvara. Raman also came, and Vishwamitra knew very well that Raman can lift the Dhanushvan of Shiva in no time. Every day is changing the position of Dhanushvan in his house. For him is nothing. And Lord Rama cannot get married with Sita. Sita is the divinity. Sita is our spinal cord. We have to climb to the divinity. If Vishwamitra wanted, he must get married. So what he did some conspiracy for the sake of disciple to climb the divinity ladder. He conveyed to the Ravana that his kingdom is burning. Then Ravan left his ceremony and went to the Lanka. But on the way he thought it is nothing like that because he was a renowned scholar. He said, I have been deceived. In the meantime, Lord Rama got married. But Ravana could not tolerate all those things. That is all done by the divine force, that divinity, that to gain something of highest level, sometimes the conspiracy has to be done. Otherwise, by force, you cannot win Ravana. Anyway, this epic teaches us a lot of things. See, the Rama himself, for the love of Sita, he forgot that a deer can be of golden color. It's not possible. But out of love, he could not analyze it and left for the golden deer to kill him. So this epics also teaches that we must have a complete discrimination. We love, but don't get merged in so much that we forget it, that we are getting deceived. And that way Ramana would succeed. But still we don't give any regard to Ram because the path he has adopted to take away the Sita is with the background of being a divine person. Because it's very easy to deceive somebody If you project that you are divine, you are a sadhu. So Sita told he is a big sadhu, but he was a devil behind the dressing of the sadhu. So that's the reason. If you deceive somebody with the pretext that you are a divine person, you will never be worshipped. You will be behind the bars, as we're seeing a lot of our great people who have deceived the innocent people of our country. So what I mean to say, we could fight by the force, our force, if somebody deceives us, but not take the shelter of the divinity and then deceive. Because it becomes easy if you project you are a divine person and then cheat if the other fellow will believe it. So all these things the Ramayana teaches us so that we can lead a life with purity, with complete understanding, with complete with the complete discrimination, and just not repeat as rituals, but try to put in our day-to-day life. That's the reason we'll be able to develop ourselves. If we just read it, do some puja of Ramayana, it doesn't give us anything. Anything in this book, in our spiritual books, is an immense knowledge, immense wisdom is there. How much we can extract, it depends upon the individual. There's no end of the wisdom in all our books. They are not just stories, but we just take it as stories and forget it. No, this is the ladder of our Sakar Bhakti to develop ourselves, go to the Nirakaar. Same thing, Lord Krishna. He is considered as the Purna Purush, Purna Avatar. He has not followed the Maryada. He always changed himself depending upon the conditions. But from heart to heart, he was very clear why he is doing. He tried his level best to change Duryodhana, but he could not. Duryodhana has very clearly told him, I know him what is right and wrong, but I cannot follow you. I have done this way. Then Lord Krishna, there is no other alternative except to go for war. So after trying his level best, sometimes in our life also, we have to go for God, but not immediate. We must put all the ways before us before we choose that path. Lord Krishna has taught us Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, supreme ways to change ourselves and follow the path of divinity. His aim was that people must understand himself, his consciousness, his own consciousness, his own Atmas first, with the different ways of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, and finally try to merge with his own divinity, reach to the level of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and become a part of the existence. So unless one follows Sakaar Bhakti, you can learn only this thing if we have a Sakaar Bhakti, we have a devotion for Lord Krishna. It's a Sakaar Bhakti. And after we have learned all these things, then we must come to the Nirakaar Bhakti, to merge in the divinity. That also Lord Krishna told. But there we have to follow our own ways, our own means, our own build-up. But the ray of light we get from there. Basically, you see, the light comes and when it passes through the prism, changes to the 7 colors. This world is of 7 colors. Our 7 indriyas. We know only 5 indriyas, but I will tell you, there are 2 more indriyas out there. And unless we win all these 7 indriyas, fully dispassion with all these things, we cannot come to a divine light. That divine light is of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So this is what I wanted to tell you about Sakaar Bhakti. We have seen the importance of the Sakaar Bhakti. If Sakaar Bhakti is very clear to us, then we have a complete devotion in our heart for Rama, for Krishna, for Ganpati, or all the people who have realized the God themselves. Then for us, we are full of the nectar what these people have got in their life. We are full of wisdom, full of knowledge. Now, with that knowledge, we have to follow our own path of divinity. That is the Nirakaar, Nirakaar ways. So God is Nirakaar. Nirakaar is infinite. Sakar has the limitation. You say Rama, Krishna, they have limitation. Nirakaar is whole existence is Nirakaar. That is energy itself. We are the part of the energy. We have to manifest our energy with all this divine knowledge we got from our spiritual leaders to manifest that divine energy and feel that divine energy within us and merge our energy with the cosmic energy. As I given you example of the prism, when the light passes from the prism, it changes to the 7 colors. Our 7 indriyas get that energy and we become the worldly person. We move in the world. We enjoy the world through our 7 indriyas. Indriyas are what? We all know it. Our eyes, ears, our skin, our tongue. Through that we experience the world and our ears, we listen. They are the 5 indriyas. But you would be surprised to know in our ears there are not one indriya. There is an other indriya also. Science has also discovered that very recently. When a man becomes old, you must have seen he is not able to maintain his balance. Being a doctor, you know, neuro problems come. There is an other indriyas in our ear which controls our stability. And when a man becomes old, when his listening power becomes less gradually, and the listening power when drastically comes down, that indicates his time has come to leave the world. This 6th indriya, it gets affected when you hear a very loud sound or you work throughout the life in a very soundy atmosphere. So such people get disbalanced very fast in their life. More about this indriyas is not known, but time to come people will know it. Our 7th indriya is in our heart. Heart is not a organic part of our body, but in that heart itself, there is a indriyas of sentiments, emotion, our feeling. When you are in a Bhakti Yoga, in divinity, the tears comes from your eyes. Why the tear comes? It is our emotion, your love. When you are full of something, you cannot express it. Then your eyes expresses it. So these are the 7 indriyas. We move in this world in these 7 indriyas. We have to basically transcend it. If we transcend these all 7 indriyas, or we get dissolved in the cosmic energies, the power of these indriyas, and then it becomes a light. As the light entered through the prism, the same light it comes. And it is as if your Ganges has gone back to the Gangotri before it's getting merged with you. So you can understand the path is not easy. We have to go back in our life itself to the Gangotri from where we have come. If we merge to the ocean, then the new life starts. But we merge back to the Gangotri, then we know that life and death are the same. And when this happens, and then the Nirvikalpa Samadhi starts. So if we look at it in a practical way, all these indriyas are governed by mind. What we have talked for last so many sessions. If you control the mind, your indriyas will get control. Mind is what desire. Man minus desire is equal to God. Or man minus mind is equal to God. Man with the mind is the world. All our worldly affairs are with the mind. We live in this world. We have to develop the mind so that we can exist. But when we want to merge with the God, we must know that art. It is only possible by the divine grace. There is nothing that somebody can teach you. There is no degrees and classes to grow them. If you have a keen desire, merge in the divinity, then only you have to transcend the mind. Otherwise, it's not required. You are happy in living this world, but when you are born with the keen desire that you must know who are you, who am I, that's what we have discussed it. So you have to transcend the mind. If you transcend the mind, indriyas get tired. How to transcend the mind there is only through the breath. Whether you do Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Kriya Yoga, whatsoever it is. So basically, breathe. Breathe has the element which gives you the energy to your mind. Breathe also has a vacuum itself. That vacuum can take you to the divinity. Jesus the Christ has very clearly told it that in my kingdom, that is the kingdom of God, camel can enter, but not the worldly man cannot enter. Rich man cannot enter. Camel can pass through the hole of the needle. You can see it is unimaginable. But the man of worldly nature cannot pass through the small hole of the needles. What I mean to say here is, Jesus the Christ has told, if you want to merge within me, you have to become shunya. You have to become zero. You have to become void. And void can pass through the hole of the needle. You are with the God. So what I mean to say, if you want to merge with the divinity, Vairagya has to be developed. It develops by itself. If you do the sadhanas, if you really merge in the bhakti, by itself Vairagya will come. Guru Nanak has told very clearly, if you do merge in bhakti, kirtan and japa, a day will come, you will be having complete dispassion. And when you have dispassion, then the wisdom will pile in you. You will be full of wisdom. And this wisdom is the divine energy. It's not a worldly knowledge, that wisdom. It's a divine energy. That your human divine energy will comes to your apex center. It will roam there. And at our head, at the apex center, there is the 10th gate. Everybody has the 9 holes in his body. When the 10th gates get opened, then that human consciousness, human divine energy will go and merge with the cosmic energy. You will experience yourself when that stage comes. Otherwise, anybody talks. If somebody talked to me about 30 years back, I would not have understood. That's very clear to me. Unless you moves on the path and you get experience, it becomes a twice play. You can anytime merge with the God is all around us, but we are thinking so many things at one time. And you put your mind at one place. If you are one place, then the arrow will go straight fast to the divine whole. So what I mean to say is a concentration either through Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, whatsoever way you have to transcend your. You should be no mind state. No mind state is a divine state. Divine state is a Shunya state. All existence is Shunya. And Shunya is merged with Shunya. You are one with the God. There is no difference between you and the Almighty because there is no breath there, no thought there, no bhav there. Nothing is there. It's all around your divine light. And it cannot be expressed in the words. And when you come back from that state, back to the human consciousness, then you come to the Manan state, and then one in between can explain what little experience he got there. When he explains, he becomes Lord Krishna, he becomes the prophet, he becomes Mahavira, Buddha, like these people. So bring that nectar back to the human level. You can bring highly 0.001% of that. And when you are merged, there's nothing beyond that. You enjoy the world, being in this world, and you can enjoy the divinity. What more? You become the master of. This is the purpose of the Nirakaar Bhakti. Starting from the Sakaar, you become a whole person, not a whole person, you become a whole prophet itself. What you say, that will, you will not say anything. Things happen by itself. So there's no end how much I can talk about it. It's endless. It's infinite. Our pen and paper cannot write it. Our expression cannot express it. Our feeling cannot reach to that state. And it's expanding and expanding every day. That way our creativity also expands. So try to be with the God, try to be with the divinity, try to be with the Nirakaar. That is the energy. The moment you discover your own energy within you, that energy is the same which exists in the cosmos. We have the same energy, but we don't know it. The sadhana is to know that energy, and it gets merged by itself by opening the 10th gate at your superhead. You are one. One more point I just wanted to tell it. Okay. If you go to the temple which has only one gate and it's closed from all the sides, and if you do Om Japa there for some time, then you will find the energy of Om goes from your Sahasrara chakra to the kumbhaj of the temple and comes back. You will find as if the electric current is established from your Sahasrara and back. So this will help you to merge with the cosmic energy of your own energy. It depends when you come to a certain level of your penance, of your sadhana, and if you get such temples, then it will be a wonderful experience. So if you get something, try to go, and if you come to the that level of Kalpa Samadhi,